Hey everyone, welcome back to Mortgage and Real Estate News for Dallas, Fort Worth, and beyond. I'm Christina Moa, and I'm here with Laura Mitchell. Laura, how are you doing today?
Hey, Christine, I'm good, excited to dig into this topic. Last episode we talked about how the DFW market's been kind of, stuck. Lots of inventory, buyers and sellers both kind of waiting things out. And now, here we are with Texas housing inventory at a 14-year high. That's wild.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, when you look at the numbers, it's clear the market's shifted. More homes on the market means buyers have more choices and sellers are having to work a lot harder to stand out. But at the same time, high interest rates and all this economic uncertainty are making buyers super cautious. It's like even with more options, people are just hesitant.
Absolutely. I actually had a client just last week. Let's call her Maria. She and her husband were on the fence for months. They kept asking, should we wait? Are prices going to drop more? But what really pushed them to finally start looking was seeing all these new listings pop up in their price range. They felt like, okay, maybe now's the time to get a deal, even if rates are high. But, they were still nervous about those monthly payments.
That's such a common story right now. And honestly, it's why we're seeing more people get creative, looking for ways to make those payments work, even with rates where they are, which brings us right to today's main topic, assumable mortgages. They're suddenly getting a lot more attention, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. So for anyone who hasn't heard the term before, an assumable mortgage is basically when a buyer takes over the seller's existing loan. The big draw, you get to keep that original interest rate, which in a lot of cases is way lower than what you could get if you applied for a new loan today.
Exactly, but not every loan is as assumable. We're talking about government-backed loans here, so FHA, VA, and USDA loans. And even then, the buyer still has to qualify for the loan, and they've got to cover the difference between the loan balance and the sales price. So if the seller owes $300,000, but the house is selling for $400,000, the buyer needs to come up with that $100,000 gap, either in cash or with some kind of secondary financing.
Right, and that's a big hurdle for some folks. But the savings can be huge. I was reading about Dallas realtor Ben Wilson. He helped a family in Plano assume a 2.8% FHA loan. I mean, that's wild, considering current FHA rates are around 6.5%?
Yeah, that's about right. And that family is saving, $1,200 a month on their mortgage payment. That's not pocket change. That's life-changing for a lot of people.
Totally. And it's not just one or two homes out there. I heard from another agent, Terry Hendricks, who said he's got a list of about 400 homes in the Dallas market right now with government-backed loans that could be assumed. So it's not just a rare thing. There are real opportunities if you know where to look.
And that's the key, right? Knowing where to look and how to actually make it happen. Because the process isn't always straightforward, and not every agent is familiar with how to navigate it.
Yeah, so let's talk about how buyers can actually find these assumable mortgages. First off, your real estate agent can help you search for homes where the seller's loan is assumable. Sometimes the listing will even advertise the rate and the fact that it's assumable, but not always.
And there are online tools now too. Withroom.com is a big one. It's a platform where you can, plug in your zip code or city, and it'll show you homes on the market with assumable loans, the rates, and even the difference in monthly payments compared to current rates. It's pretty handy, especially if you're just starting your search and want to see what's out there.
Yeah, and if you're feeling overwhelmed, there are resources to help. The Texas Financial Toolbox is a great place to start. It's got everything from homebuyer education to credit counseling and even down payment assistance programs. I always tell clients, don't be afraid to use those resources. They're there for a reason.
Absolutely. I actually had a client last year who was really struggling to figure out if an assumption was even possible for them. We used the Texas Financial Toolbox to get them some credit counseling, and it made a huge difference. They ended up finding a home with an assumable FHA loan, and we walked through the process together. It wasn't always easy. There were definitely some bumps, but having those resources and a team that knew what to look for made all the difference.
That's such a good point. It's not just about finding the right house, it's about having the right support. And honestly, with the way the market is right now, buyers need every advantage they can get.
Yeah, and I think that's a good place to wrap up for today. Assumable mortgages aren't for everyone, but for the right buyer, they can be a game changer, especially in a market like Dallas-Fort Worth, where every dollar counts. We'll keep watching these trends and bring you more updates as things evolve.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Christine, always a pleasure chatting with you. We'll be back soon with more tips and news for DFW buyers and sellers. Take care.
Thanks, Laura, and thanks to all our listeners. See you next time.